Okay, welcome back to this next chapter of Let's Play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines Clan Quest Mod Edition version 4.0, episode 6. We last left off, we had followed through on all of Victoria's conspiracies against Hazel. So she has painted him up to look like a plague bearer who has lost control and has taken the Max assets, if you will, from him, and has declared a war party against him. So we're going to enter the church here. We're going to see sort of an extended cutscene, and we'll see what happens from there. So hopefully it doesn't crash. Also, I installed the X20 mod since the last episode because, obviously, of course, duh.
So you see, faithful followers, true believers, death shall come for you, just as it comes for us all. I urge you to welcome its bittersweet embrace with a warm heart, for it shall... You treacherous viper! You two-faced temptress, you contemptuous, insolent wench!
Is this how you welcome all friends into your temple, Hazel? What's the matter? Not feeling yourself these nights? You seem a bit infermo.
You treacherous swine! You bring famine and pestilence upon my house, but I shall bloody my hands with war and death to...
Your pride has gotten the better of you this time, Senor Thoms. Blame the devil for your sins if you must, but it's not me. Not anyone in this war pack spreading your disease, your demented vision of Gehenna.
Oh, hypocrite! Curse the earth you stand upon. It's your vices that have brought this plague. It was your word that was broken to feed my hungry flock. I will strike you down with...
Please, Hazel, stop dreaming. We all saw what happened with esa basura Vic. You can blame him too, if it eases your fevered head. But your excuses won't stand. You're not that important. Your title means shit. And you won't step in on our turf any further.
Those girls are gonna cost me a pretty penny, Hazel. Somebody's gotta pay, and your credit's dried up real fast in this town.
But I... Blind, unwashed heretics. The whole lot of you. Victoria, you crooked harlot. I will dig up your heart and cast it into my hearth to heat my home. Mark my words!
I'm sorry, but there's no place in the Sabbat for a self-obsessed, plague-bearing, Gehenna-dealing traitor like you. This is street justice, bendejo.
You think I'm beaten? You doubt the glory of Hazel, Tomes, you fool! I waste not and want not. I am no judge of the wicked, no! All that follow me shall find salvation. Rise up, my flock.
Okay, so we got zombies, we got Hazel, we got his pack, we got his demented followers, we gotta defend ourselves. Let's see here. Where's Protean? Where's Protean when I need it? But I've got my pack with me too. Victoria's fucking people up. See, Burrowing Beetle does like 14 damage, it's nothing. There we go. That's what it's all about. Hazel's down. Just gotta clear up these zombies. Alright. So then, if this goes right, we're gonna get treated to the Vauldery scene. Let's have a look, see here.
Hazel, his acolytes. Such a shame that blind ambition would get the better of our brothers. But his sacrifice will not be forgotten, not wasted. No, quite the opposite. Even his tainted blood, spilled upon the earth, will feed Quetzalcoatl in his battle against the Red Star, the harbinger of this cycle's end. So shall our blood feed each other, so long as Cain's grandchildren lay at rest, ready to rise up and run amok. The battle for the fifth son is ours as well. And now, with every pretender lying in the ashes, this pack stands at the forefront of the war against the ancients. Time is the fire we all dance in, and while this hour burns bright with strife, I shall take the turquoise lord's hand and lead this pack through the blaze of Gehenna. With providence towards the battle to come, I welcome these two new warriors into our pack. Both have sacrificed and endured to stand here among us. Both are ready to take our blood as their own, to make them whole again, to make them discípulos de Xicoat.
Cool. There's a known bug with this sequence, wherein basically the animations don't execute correctly. So if you're seeing that, believe me when I tell you I did everything I could to fix that bug. I cannot reproduce it though. It's just some of the testers pointed it out. I'm going to save real quick here. So I'm on my last leg with these things. I might give myself another one just for the continuity of the freaking Let's Play. But yeah, her sermon also is, again, there's a lot of references to all this religious stuff that is in the context of her religious beliefs, this Mexica Aztec religious beliefs. So that's where some of, like, a lot of that text is coming from. Yeah. And so what's basically happened here is that she's taken control of East LA. And I would have loved to have done a bloodbath sort of cutscene, but I think it would have been a little redundant with the Vaulderie. And also, I just couldn't even get the animations to work for the Vaulderie sequence, except just barely. I mean, you guys saw it. It turned out okay, but you can't directly see people drinking the blood in the cauldron. And so trying to imagine the bloodbath ritual, which in the Sabbat means they put the newly appointed member of the Sabbat into a bathtub or some other kind of decanter, and they all just like pour a bunch of blood on them and feed them and basically give a tribute of blood to this person that's gotten this, promotion within the Sabbat. That's a thing they do. So it's sort of implied that with Hazel out of the way, she is sort of destined to become the Bishop of East LA. And the whole inspiration for this story, again, comes from this pen and paper story that my friends and I played, where the premise was there was three like warring ducti for the position of bishop or archbishop, I think it was. And so the players were supposed to, side with one pack or the other and kind of play them off one another. They were infiltrators, though, so the intention was really to just weaken all the packs by, making them feud against each other. Of course, the players didn't do that. They they basically almost immediately gave themselves up as Camarilla spies and were just on the run from the Sabbat the whole game. But it was a lot of fun. In any case, we don't really have anything in the quest log here except for this purloined package. And I'll tell you what, you just come back here and talk to Arturo again, and he's got something to tell you.
I got something you need to hear about.
What's up, Arturo?
Remember those drugs that disappeared? I haven't forgotten about that. And I hope you hadn't either. It never turned up. So we still got a job to do, Holmes.
I haven't found anything since then. I got no leads, man.
Si, pero I might know something. This kid, Eduardo, he's been a soldier with the Kings for a few years now. Never any problems with him. Not until now.
What do you mean?
He gets his cut, fair and square, just like everybody else. I know how much he makes. What I don't know is how he can afford the sweet new wheels he's flashing around the hood. He's gotta be double dealing somewhere else. If he thought he could rip me off and make a buck on the side, I'm gonna have his balls in a jar.
You sure he did it?
It seems like these nights I can't be sure of anything. My gut says he's the guy. You'll have to shake him down to be sure. Or just put a bullet in his brain. That should make damn sure he's not double dipping. Up to you.
See, Arturo's starting to get a little more loose and fast with his morality. When you talk to him before, he's just like, oh, I don't really want to hurt anybody. This is all just business to me. Now he's like, I want to fucking put a bullet in this guy's head if I have to. I don't give a shit. His humanity is degrading slowly, too. Any idea where I can find him?
He lives here in the projects, but he hasn't come home for a couple days. Just look for his ride. 70 Chevy Malibu. Blue. Hard to miss. He ain't got much for brains, but no one can say he's got bad taste.
I'll take care of it.
Chido. If you can, find out who he's selling to. If someone's trying to move in on our turf, I want to know about it.
No problem. I'll find out what's going down. All right, so let's save here. Oops. And I want to do something real quick. It's cheating, but I just kind of want to like buy myself some extra breathing room. I think it's change masquerade level. Yeah. So someone pointed this out in the comments already, in the feedback that I've gotten, in that it's like the Camarilla, are they really going to hunt you like as gratuitously as they would? You know, like, does it matter anymore if you break the masquerade because you're Sabat? And I think yes, because if you're a big enough problem, the Camarilla is still going to come for you, even if you're Sabat. And even the Sabat isn't, they kind of need you to just be like, you know, you could be monstrous, but you still need to cover up after yourself. You know, if you come into a bar and kill everyone in there, you need to burn it down afterwards. So, yeah, that's why that's still the way that it is. But yeah, you frenzy a lot more if you're Diablerizing everyone and your humanity is stuck at like 2, like mine is. So you really have to watch that, and being Gangrel and turning on Protean and getting a bunch of masquerade violations from doing that is not helping me. Anyways, I know that Eduardo is at the taco shop getting some late night grub. There's his car. He's taking up 2 parking spots, if that tells you anything about the kind of person that he is. And he's a really minor NPC, but I really like Eduardo. The dialogue that I wrote for him came out pretty good. There's especially some pretty hilarious dialogue if you talk to him as a woman with seduction or as a Nosferatu. Oh shit. No, we're not doing this. I want to talk to him. I'm just frenzying all up in here, guys. We're just gonna... I won't make you guys take the long walk again. Zip, 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 zip. Can I give my... yeah. Alright. Alright, we better get right to it and talk to Eduardo before I freak out.
Wow. You are beautiful. How about I buy you some dinner and we get to know each other a little better, huh? We can call that a date if you want, baby.
So he'll hit on you if you're female, no matter what, but you can only indulge that if you have a seduction skill. I have intimidation, so we're gonna work that. Do I have enough dots? I think so. Cut the crap, Casanova. That your car parked out front?
Damn, girl. No need to be like that. If you want to ride, all you gotta do is ask.
You actually expect me to believe that a snot-nosed little shit like you could afford that car? I doubt your crack whore mother's child support checks are gonna buy wheels like that, so tell me, who'd you rip off?
Man, you're a fucking bitch. Forget I ever asked you out. You should really watch that mouth of yours before it gets you in trouble. Me and my boys, we're like kings. Piss me off again, I may not be so nice about it.
Oh shit. I guess you need 8 intimidation to work on this guy, but if you have a high enough intimidate, you can tell him you're a cop and he'll give you a clue. But I don't think the kings are going to get your back. Arturo seems like he's had enough of your double dealing, shithead.
It's like that, huh? Arturo's gonna stick some hitman on me just because I want to taste the good life? You think I want to waste my years hoping it pays off with the kings? All me and my boys ever wanted was easy money. You tell Arturo if he wants to cut on what I'm making now, he's got to pull his fat ass up off the couch and catch me himself.
I'd rather waste you than my breath.
Hey, we
I gotta kill his gang of buddies here. But he drops something. He drops a clue. What does it say? Chateau de Mac, 3526 Santa Rita Avenue. You killed Eduardo and found a card with the Mac's address on it. Could he somehow be connected to everything going on? Victoria should know about this. So, okay, so her drugs mysteriously disappeared. All the people that we talked to, didn't seem to know what the fuck was going on. They actually contradicted each other, even though it seemed like they were both telling the truth. Now we got this kid who clearly is making some extra money on the side. And he's got a business card or a piece of paper with the Mac's address on it. So clearly he's been there and knows who the Mac is. So something is up. And if you remember the state in which we found Ariana and the Mac's propensity for using the dominate discipline, you can kind of put together a picture of what's going on here. He's clearly been using dominate to kind of get in and fuck with the other packs in the area. Maybe that's not as obvious as I had hoped, but that was sort of the intention of this quest. That's where this is supposed to be going. So let's go talk to Victoria. See what she thinks about this. A little conspiracy.
¿Qué pasa? How does the night find you?
We need to talk, Victoria. I think you know where your drugs went, but you're not going to like it. We've got a traitor in our midst.
A traitor? That's quite the grave claim to make. Careful what words fall from your lips, Lick. Arrogant insults and hollow rumors could easily bring you the final death.
The final death. It's true. It's true. Arturo and I figured out one of the kings is being played by the Mac. Same kid just so happens to have a lot of extra money laying around. Coincidence?
And that's cause for what? To strike down a fellow Sabbat because of coincidence. The Mac's made himself more and more unwelcome these nights, but we won't betray him out of inconvenience.
Look, I saw what he did to Ariana, how he got in her head. It makes sense that no one I talked to before could remember anything.
Why would he steal from me? Is that gamble really worth the thrill?
How should we know? You want answers. You're going to have to get them out of him yourself.
I've long wondered his ambitions in my city. Idle hands and with eyes so big and wide as his, it doesn't fit. What is he waiting for? And without a pack, it's a disgrace. Yes, K-Knight, I think my patience for him has met its end.
What do you propose we do about it?
Gather the pack, Gringa. It's time we paid our shadowy friend a visit. Find out the truth of his nature. If the eyes behind his glasses are really so big. I will cut the serpent's light from his chest myself if his love for his brothers is truly so slim.
I'd love to see that. Let's go. Okay, so Victoria's bought into your suspicion that the Mac may be responsible for her missing drugs. She's asked you to meet her at his casita when the Pack confronts him about his deception. Okay. So we got to go over to the Mac's house. See this thing through. Let's save real quick. This one. Okay. I need to feed first, though. I want to do something real quick. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's see if I can catch somebody back here. Back behind the place. There's somebody. All these gang members walking around make easy targets. There's 2 people, in fact. Just wait for his buddy to leave.
What?
What? Okay. I'm just gonna kill him. I don't care. I'm a fucking monster. That extra blood point was worth it. You know what? I'm gonna feed on this guy too. I won't kill him though. I don't need to. Alright, so we're all juiced up. Let's go to the Max place. Let's see what he has to say for himself. A lot of deception, a lot of betrayal in this game, huh? I feel like a lot of this is a strong motif of the mod is, you know, just where do your loyalties lie? And what does that really mean? You know, the Sabbat's supposed to be all about brotherhood and kumbaya. Let's slay the ancients together, guys. But are they really so true to their virtues?
Victoria? You're here in numbers tonight. Putting together another war party? What can I do for you?
Why don't you tell me, Mac? Tell me, is someone deserving of the final death?
I don't understand.
You understand perfectly. Have your pockets grown too deep? Have you reached so far you've hit rock bottom? You've overstayed your welcome in my barrio and you'll be leaving. Tonight.
I really don't know what you're talking about, Victoria. Let's just hash this out. Before you do anything, we're both gonna regret.
Stealing from my coffers has left you lazy. Sloppy. Play the fool if you must, it suits you well. But I already know how you've plundered my kingdom, with tooth and blade. I'll find out why.
I guess you've been talking to someone you shouldn't. Fucking idiot kid. I knew this night would come. Sooner or later. Just walk out of here now, Victoria. I'll disappear. You and your whole pack will still get to see tomorrow. Everybody wins.
You degenerate cheat. Always the glib tongue. I'd love to teach you a lesson in pain, cutting it from your pretty head. But this mistake will be a fatal one.
Fine. You wanna play it like that? It's your funeral. Vincent, it's time to earn your keep.
Alright. So again, your pack helps you in this combat. You gotta fight the Mac, his ghoul, and these shadow tentacle monsters. They do aggravated damage. It's really hard to hit him with the claws. Let Victoria deal with them. So yeah, he kind of admitted his own guilt. So he's teleporting around because he's got access to obtenebration. And higher levels of obtenebration allow you to travel through shadows. We get him?
You were too greedy, Mac. I should have eaten your soul when you trifled with mi familia, but it wasn't enough. It could never be enough for you. Bazofia chingado.
So she kind of gloats over him.
I take no joy in a brother's death, but this filthy thief left me little choice. Be careful what you put into the world, gringo. It will always find you in the end. Always.
Let's see. Why didn't... okay. You can ask her a couple things here, and it gives you a little bit of insight into her belief system. Let's say... What a piece of shit. For the record, I never liked that guy.
His spirit was lost. He never knew sacrifice. Not really. No. He'd rather chase profane things, empty desires as if they mattered. Had he the Constitution, I'd feed his blood to Shutekli, 1 drop of blood at a time, 1 for every dollar he stole. Perhaps in the vacuum of his own glut, he'd have found something greater.
So her virtues are all about sacrifice and penance, that sort of thing. You'd have let him live for what he did?
There's no need to slay those that can learn from the scars of their mistakes.
I think that's important too, because a lot of the paths that are available to Sabbat who've abandoned their humanity doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go on a fucking psychopathic killing spree. A lot of times it's about doing other unvirtuous things, corrupting people, teaching people lessons through pain and torture, things of that nature. So, the Sabbat is more diverse than just, we're the big bad monsters, let's kill anybody that gets in our way. I think that's important to note. Sure, look, what are we going to do about this now?
It's doubtful my treasury was where his greed began or ended. Let's look through his things. If this imposter had help, I want to know it.
Okay, I'll take a look around. So, the thing here is his computer, but we don't know the password, and if you don't have hacking abilities, this might be a little difficult. So I want to show you guys how you can solve this puzzle. Because some of the testers, the beta testers, said this was too hard. So if you go in the bathroom and you have high enough inspection, I don't know if mine is high enough, you can look at this note here that's been thrown away. Yo, boss, I got your computer set up just like you told me to do. There's a password on it now, too, just like you asked for. Remember the art on the wall you asked me to hang? Well, boss, if you forget the password, you can always ask me, of course, but the art, it should help jog your memory. Vincent. So that's our clue, and if you look around at some of the art on the walls, there's a lot of red herrings. I guess there's none there. But for instance, here's Betty Page. That's a red herring. Here's a Miss November Playboy model. This is actually one of the more famous Playboy shots here. This is one of the clues. The other is this big painting on the wall here. This is a Goya painting. Goya was this Spanish artist who had this phase where he drew all these super fucked up, or he painted all these super fucked up paintings. This is one of them. I thought it was appropriate because this black goat seems fairly satanic and appropriate for a member of the Sabbat. So those are your 2 clues, and if you go on here, email, Playboy, password, and let's look at these emails. Meet tonight from Virgilius E. Now, if you remember on Gary's computer, he had an email that was also from Virgilius. Or Virgilius. The sarcophagus is secured. We can make the exchange tonight. Gary appreciates your brokering of this deal, but would like to remind you there's consequences if you don't fulfill your end of our bargain. So this is clearly some Nosferatu agent that is working with the Mac to sell the sarcophagus. Tonight's transaction from Antonio G., who Virgilius referenced in his email. Bruno's transferred the money, so we're all set for tonight, right? And finally, in email number 3, fellow Sabbat from Bruno G., who we haven't met yet. If you played the game before, obviously you know who we're talking about here, though. And it says, you're much more reasonable than the Nosferatu to accept our considerable offer for the sarcophagus. On behalf of Clan Giovanni, you have our eternal gratitude brokering this deal. Since you seem to have the other Sabbat busy chasing after their own tails, we can use your place as a neutral territory for the exchange. Seems they'll never know it passed them right by. You're more than welcome at our mansion later this week for the banquet and opening party. So this kind of tells us a lot of what we need to know here, but let's look at his finances. Goya, the name of the artist of the painting, is the password. And if you look at his ledger, you see he's making $12,400 gross monthly income, presumably from prostituting. There's a transfer from Bruno Giovanni for $100,000. So he sold the sarcophagus for $100,000. There's Montez, Eduardo, he paid him $10,000 basically for his help infiltrating the gang, the Latino Kings. And we've got an income sale, narcotics for $25,000. Those are the drugs that he sold from Victoria. And this other one transferred to City of East LA for $15,000. This becomes relevant if you do Hazel's quest. That's all I'm going to say there. Basically, it involves him bribing a public official. Expenses, $500, takes money to run a business. But this is kind of a clue of like where money's coming and going and what he's been into. So essentially, it seems like the Mac has been fucking with the other packs, keeping them busy, interfering with their plans so that he could do the sale of the sarcophagus, brokering this deal between the Nosferatu and the Giovanni without interference. And it also makes more sense why you had to go rescue Barabbas, because that was clearly his payment to the Nosferatu. You know, he got the sarcophagus in exchange for returning Barabbas, which you ended up doing, and then he turned around and sold the sarcophagus to the Giovanni. So,
For all his sins, he was a good salesman. He spent his nights selling flesh as fantasy, just as he sold me the fantasy that each and every one of Cain's children is devoted to his brothers. Pinche farsante.
you know, I hope it was my fear before I released this mod that some of the clues and the evidence leading up to this sort of revelation was like not obvious enough. So now that I've had to help give all this exposition, I hope it is just sort of like clear to the people that aren't watching this Let's Play video the sort of plot that's happening. I think it's kind of like obvious that the Mac is probably a traitor. He just seems out of place, you know, as opposed to the rest of the NPCs. But I just hope that the clues that sort of implicate him are clear and obvious to everybody, and you didn't need my little exposition to make sense of it all. Hell yeah, let's go crash this little cocktail party and give the Giovanni what they deserve.
The Archbishop needs to know of this. Go to the Hollowbrook. Bring this news to him at once.
I'll go at once.
Go to Andre now. Andale. There's little time left in the night. ...
Okay. So I'm gonna save the game. And we are... So that pretty much concludes our business in East LA. We've done all the quests there that we can do. If we had sided with Hazel, we would have gotten some different content. But for all intents and purposes, we're done here. So let's go back downtown and talk to Andre and see what he recommends we do next. And keep him apprised of the situation. Hopefully this doesn't crash. I need to get downtown. Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, go. Whew, okay. Made it. People, you know, it's been a couple days now the mod's been out. Now people are reporting issues with the crashing thing, and I think I'm going to do what I can to fix it, but it's just a bug that's so deeply buried in the engine, I don't know how and if I can fix it. So this is another one of those transition points that's likely to crash. Let's save here so I don't have to run back again. Yay, we did it. Okay, so your pack is now hanging out down in the basement here. We can talk to him now, but let's talk to Andre first. So he's just chilling out down here, looking at this coffin, I guess. He walks around, he looks at these different things, this mound of skin and these dismembered man over here.
Why do you return empty-handed? The sarcophagus must be secured. Our time grows short.
I don't have the box, but I have a lot of news. The Giovanni have been working against us. I found and killed a nomadic Sabbat that sold it to them. The sarcophagus is at the Giovanni mansion.
Feeble, tactless necromancers. We will pry the sarcophagus out from their dead, cold ashes. You have done well, Cainite. You have served the Sabbat loyally, and you will be rewarded. But your quest is not yet over. You must still retrieve the sarcophagus before those foolhardy would-be pretenders open the accursed box. Take this blade to flay the skin off their bones.
So you get the occult blade that does aggravated damage that you normally get in Andre's chamber when you confront the Sabbat in the vanilla storyline at this point. What's the deal with the Giovanni? Are they Sabbat? Camarilla?
They are usurpers, hardly worthy of the title Cainite. They stole their gifts, and their sacrilege goes deeper still, for their antediluvian walks among us now. They openly revere Augustus Giovanni. They are but children, toying with power they cannot possibly understand. Their parlor tricks and seances will not save them from the true ancients.
So if you know about the lore of the game, the Giovanni clan, kind of like the Tremere, came about from actually basically consuming or supplanting another antediluvian. In the case of the Giovanni, it's the Cappadocians, I believe they're called, that they sort of subsumed. And so their antediluvian, Augustus Giovanni, is actually walking around and everyone knows about it. So, you know, it's a total affront to the spot, but they don't really treat him like a real antediluvian because he's not a proper third gen. What do you mean, seances?
The Giovanni think themselves mages worthy of rivaling the Tremere. Their dark spells grant them dominion over the many lost souls that walk this world and the next. Communing and controlling the dead may serve them well. They will soon join the departed.
I'll get the sarcophagus, ghosts and magic or not.
Go now to their mansion. Return with the sarcophagus and spare no one.
You'll see me soon. Okay, so got that quest. We're done with the Purloined package and that's Tekli's altar. Yeah, we're all good to move ahead with this quest. So let's talk about this. Your pack is hanging out down here, and you can talk to them. And sort of the idea is, you can choose to bring them along with you on these missions to like the Giovanni Mansion and some other content that's coming up. So let's take them with us to the Giovanni Mansion. But it is important to note that if you bring the Sabbat with you to the Giovanni Mansion, you can't get into the crypts diplomatically. You just have to charge in and fight everybody. And that just, to me, that just seems appropriate for the Sabbat. It just doesn't make sense to me that they would go to a cocktail party and be rubbing shoulders and trying to subvert their way into the party. No, the Sabbat would show up and fucking raid the Giovanni Mansion and murder everybody.
So-called masters of the veil. They tamper with energy they cannot comprehend. Already they meddle in the next world, stealing lost souls from Nitantekli. For this alone, we should crush them. Now they would damn this world as well, opening the sarcophagus in Augustus' name.
Care to accompany me to the party then?
Gladder, by the fire of Shikowat, I'll guide this pack through tonight and give the bone dancers a coward's death.
Great, let's head out. Let's talk to Arturo.
What's this I'm hearing we're gonna go swipe some old coffin? ¿Por qué? What the hell for? Somebody planning a funeral? Or is Victoria just getting bored?
So Arturo's new to all this. He doesn't really understand what this stuff is. He's just figuring out as he goes, just kind of like you are. You're just a few steps ahead of him is all. No, there's some old legend that there's an ancient vampire sleeping in it.
I still don't get it. Who cares? We do the same thing every day and nobody's busting into my pad looking to drop vengeance on me. Let him sleep.
Everybody wants a piece of the geezer vampire inside to take its power for themselves.
No mames. What I gotta do? Eat his heart or something? I've heard some tall-ass tales, but now I know you're just fucking with me. If it was that easy, this whole city would be one big 24-hour buffet for the baddest vampires on the block.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it? Hear about Diablerie? You drain another vampire to death, you gain some of its power. The more powerful the vampire, the stronger the hit.
Puta. Every time I think I know the score, then this vampire shit goes deeper. But more power. I can already pick up a car and spit acid, but Victoria says there's some fun tricks I ain't seen yet. If the only thing it takes is dusting some pendejo I never met, then sign me up.
Careful with that. I hear it's addictive and not in a fun way.
Whatever. Addiction's been my trade for years. I've tried every drug the street can cough up, and I never cut into the supply. I can handle myself.
Do what you want.
Yeah. Who's the lucky winner we're gonna knock off tonight?
The Giovanni? I haven't dealt with them yet. Apparently they can talk with the dead.
Talking to the dead? Now, see, that's what I'm talking about. You just point me at whoever's neck I gotta bite to learn that one.
You in then?
Claro que sí. I got your back, homegirl.
Alright, so we got our pack with us. And they don't follow you there, but they'll show up when you get to the mansion is how it works. So hopefully this doesn't crash. This is one of those choke points I keep talking about. Made it, yay. So, let's head over to the Giovanni mansion. So this is one of these posters, the X20 mod changes here. I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily understand all these references, but that's kind of the fun for me is seeing these things and then being tempted to go Google it and look up what this reference is to the world of darkness and see what else is out there. Just like this game is what got me started with Vampire. There's so many other things in the world of darkness that I look forward to learning about and getting involved in. Just drive. Giovanni Stronghold. There's this logo at the top of the header here. I think that's a reference to something, but I don't know what it is.
My blade is ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's get going.
Let's do this.
So once we get our pack, we're just going to immediately go into a combat, which is fine by me. Fuck everybody. That's what the Sabbat are for, right? This guy's gotta die. Let's drink this guy's blood. Okay. All fed on. So this is leveraging comp mod to get the companions to follow you around and help you out in combat. But it is really quite look, we're stuck in the ground.
See?
Get behind me. It really is quite buggy and unreliable. They tend not to follow you around. They'll fight each other. They'll get stuck in the earth. I guess they got Protean, Earth Meld. So it's thematically it's nice and appropriate for the Sabbat pack to be chasing after you and helping you kill all your enemies. But it is a little buggy and that is unfortunate. That's just bloodlines for you. Don't run away from me. Screw that guy. Let's just get in here. Okay. Yeah, it really wouldn't be the Sabbat if you didn't have your pack chasing around after you, huh? so keep at it here. Drink this guy's blood. Come on, guys, you can get him. Shoot him. There we go. Oh. Why don't you use your sword, Victoria? See, they're just kind of... How helpful they actually are is pretty contestable. But anyway. I guess their presence is pretty useful. Setites, one of the clan disciplines is presence, and that seems to be pretty effective in terms of shutting down the opponents. Just room to room, killing everybody. Alright, so time to fight Bruno, huh? I don't know where Arturo is. Victoria's here to help me. They're really not hurting me very much. I don't even have fortitude on. Zombies. Alright, so where's Bruno? Let's take him down. So, Bruno goes down, and we have an opportunity to Diablerize him. So I've still got 2 humanity. You don't want it to go below 1, but let's take this guy. I already know I don't have the attributes to sort of subsume him, but I just don't care that much at this point. I want to see what secrets I can suck out of your soul. So what did I get? I got Dominate and some kind of secondary attribute here. Maybe Finance. I think it's Finance because I definitely didn't put any points to get it up to 5, so that's kind of useful. Who do you think you are? Come in here, stomp our party. The sarcophagus is ours. The Giovanni will have the last word in this. Just wait. You really don't know what I have in mind for you next, do you, Bruno? You think you've taken my soul? I'm Giovanni. We rule what's beyond the veil. You're making a huge mistake, asshole. My blood will make you pay for what you've done. Look, it doesn't have to end here. You lost tonight, but I can show you power beyond whatever's inside the sarcophagus. What do you know about power? You fanatics would just as soon destroy the sarcophagus. You've got no sense to throw an opportunity like that right out the window. And you're supposed to use, like, Persuasion 9 on him here, and he's appealing to his sense of family. But we'll say, we don't need the sarcophagus. Together we can crush any enemy. That's your line? How stupid do you think I am? Weak-minded little shit. Start counting your knights. You're not gonna get far. Okay. So, didn't subsume Bruno, but that's whatever. Okay. So let's get down to the basement. And so this episode is just under an hour here. I think that's good for this episode. I didn't think I was going to do another one this weekend, but here we are. So I will get back to it tomorrow. I'll work on episode 7 tomorrow. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, tell me you love me, And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.